right, welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live here on SABC2. Now, we do know that it's more than a week now since the local government elections took place, yet it's still not clear as to who will be in control of some of the metros here in South Africa. So joining us this morning is the president of South African Unemployed Workers Union. They are members of the ANC, Jabu Ntusi. Jabu, good morning to you and welcome to Morning Live.
Morning.
Thank you very much indeed for your time. Now, quite a historic and interesting local government elections, I believe. What do you make of these elections and the results thereof?
We did bad. Our organization, the People's Organization, didn't do well at all.
And you're referring to the ANC?
To the ANC, yes. It didn't do well at all. And the reason for that, you see, we've got secretaries. You start from top, from SG Kwetemantashe. He works with the secretaries through province through regions. That's where the problem is. Unfortunately, we have been warning the ANC.
But we still didn't get an opportunity to understand what the problem exactly was. Was it, were they imposing maybe the candidates to the community members?
Yes. That's a problem. That's a main problem. They imposed candidates, you understand? They didn't appoint the ones that have been elected, that is by the communities. That's where the problem started.
All right, so I beg your pardon. The opposition party, what do you make of their performance? What do you think they did right in these elections?
No, for opposition parties? No, there's nothing that they did right. But
they did well.
Yeah, they did well, but in terms of the programs, if we talk of service delivery, there's nothing that the opposition parties that they did. But because of the anger of the members of the ANC at a branch level, you see, it is the one, because other people, they just said, like Nelson Mandela, for example, they said, no, we're not going to vote. Why do we have to vote? Whereas we're facing these challenges and no one cares, because the people that they talk to, they also said they're ignorant. They don't want to listen to anyone. If they decide that we are going to put so-and-so there, they are going to do it, regardless whether the community disagrees, of which that is the main problem.
But couldn't this problem been addressed maybe? Could it not have been addressed on time before the elections? I mean, you able to stem out and say this was the main problem. Could it not have been addressed on time before the elections?
If our leaders were willing, we could have avoided this. Because as the South African Unemployed Workers Union, we saw it coming. And we have been trying to engage them. But the problem is one, is ignorance. They don't want to listen to anyone. They just want to drive the agenda, of which that agenda is only known by them.
All right. So what happened to your members? Did they stay away from the elections? The members of the South African Unemployed Workers Union?
Some in certain areas, they didn't even vote. For example, I'll talk of Cambridge in Buffalo City, East London. The day we were going to the polls, tear gas, rubber bullets were flying because people were protesting. You see, that area and other areas that we know of, people didn't vote. It's not that we did bad that much. It's just that people didn't vote.
But is it really not amazing? Because your union is made up of unemployed people rather, and retrenched workers. Shouldn't they have gone out in large numbers to actually make their voices heard instead of staying away?
Yes. That's how it has been throughout the years. This problem started in 2011 2011 local government, the previous local government municipality, whereby people showed anger because that's when they started imposing the candidates. We thought this time around they will not do it, but unfortunately, because we know as the South African Unemployed Workers Union, who is behind this?
Who is behind that?
There's only one person here.
And
Is that Secretary General?
Why do you think
Comrade Mantashe?
Why do you think he's involved in everything?
For example, I'll tell you.
Quickly, I need to wrap this.
We know from the branches, when they come, they will tell you that when you report. Actually, let's start it there. That's where it starts to show you clearly. When you report to them that, look, this is the problem, people will start to protest. You hear how this Secretary General is responding.
You know what? I think we would have to have the Secretary General here as well, so that he can be able to respond to some of the allegations. I would call them allegations because he's not here to respond for himself. But that's where we're going to leave it for this morning. But Jabu, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. There you have it. That's the President of South African Unemployed Workers Union talking to us about them not being satisfied with the results of the local government elections.